There we go. Now you should start hearing us here in a second. Apologize for that. Forgot to cut the
Hi,
microphone on.
Christy. Hi, Matthew. How are you doing, guys?
Yeah, sound is fixed, guys. Appreciate appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yep, we're still new to live streaming. You know, this isn't like our ideal way to make videos. We normally like to go out to Disney or go to the character warehouse, so we're still adjusting.
Yeah.
But actually something weird that happened, and I'm not even sure yet why. The last live stream we did, when it uploaded to YouTube, it uploaded the screen in reverse, and I have no idea why. All right, great, Matthew. Glad you can hear it. So cool.
How are you doing, guys?
Yeah, how is everybody? How did y'all spend y'all's weekend? He says self-isolation is fantastic. Yeah, we're going through the same thing.
Yeah.
It's
By the way, we are thinking that it will be more better that the baby was here. I think made you the same, right?
Yeah, we were saying like how great it would be if the baby was here now and we would have all this extra free time to spend.
Nothing to do, just to spend with her, play with her.
Watch now, as soon as the baby comes, like mid-May, it's going to, like, Disney's gonna reopen, work's gonna reopen, everything's gonna reopen, and then we're not gonna have all this free time like we have now.
Yeah.
For the for baby time, but we don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Who knows when things are actually going to start to reopen? That's a whole nother subject. That's a whole nother question. We don't know that one yet, but. Yeah. So, anyway, let's see. Let's give it a few more minutes. Hey, Ann, how are you?
Hi, Annie.
I want to apologize to everybody because I feel like in the last stream, I kind of was missing some of the questions.
Yeah.
Susanna's really good at that. She's like, she knows I talk too much. If you
It's not about that. You were talking about food. That's why when you're talking about food, you're forgetting everything.
Well, let's keep. Maybe we'll try to keep this live stream more towards the baby.
Yeah.
More about you, honey, and the baby.
Here. The
What is? Let's read. I mean, the baby here would be so. Matthew agrees. Would be so much better. But now I'm worried that I'll be alone. You know, Matthew, I just saw something about that in. I don't know if it's all of New York State or if it's in parts of New York. Right before we jumped on the stream, I don't know. I was on something with CNN or Fox. I can't remember who it was, but they said that they are limiting, not even allowing the spouse to be in the delivery room, in the delivery process.
Oof.
And I just said the exact same thing to Susanna before we went live on the stream. I said, what are the odds if that's going to happen like here at that time too?
By the way, last time, doctor, she said that they limited already only one visitor, right?
Yes, our doctor already told us that in the whole, like, I guess maternity ward, only one visitor can be there.
Yeah.
Spouse, partner, whatever, but family, friend, or something. But only one person can go.
I hope until May everything will be okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll go without you.
Yeah. Matthew's asking when we're due. We're due in May.
In the beginning, they said the end of May, like you are, guys. Yeah, like yours. But now they said in the middle of the May.
Okay. Matthew says that in New York, it's only the mother that's allowed in for delivery.
Yeah, you said the same.
Yeah, I guess so, I mean, unfortunately, the news...
I need Steven.
Yeah, you need...
With me because...
even for language, little bit.
It's not about I'm scared. It just, I would like, because of the language, because my English is not first my language, I would like that Steven have been there like for every second to be have all information.
Sure. Well, you guys know how it is. It's hard enough to understand medical language if English is your first language, but if English isn't your first language, it can even be a little trickier. And I'm imagining in that environment when you're giving birth, it's already stressful. I have a feeling that I don't even want to say. I have a feeling maybe by mid-May, end of May, maybe some of those rules will be relaxed, but really at this point, who knows? So. And
I watched some video. Doctors usually they are. They said if the father doesn't afraid from that old process, he's ready to see that what is going on there. That is much better when the husband with the wife in the same room during delivery. For baby good too. I mean, I don't know, for connection between baby and father. They said that is better. But let's see.
What is the hormone? Oxytocin.
Oh, yeah.
Oxytocin, the hormone of love. And I guess so much research and stuff's been going on about oxytocin, where I know, like, so when the baby's born, they want skin-to-skin contact. The doctors want that. And it has to do with when the mother's skin touches that baby's skin, there's a release of oxytocin.
Yeah.
But now there's some studies that say when the baby touches the father's skin,
the same.
it releases that. That's probably what you're talking about, the
Yeah.
oxytocin release. So.
And not only, I was telling about between the father and baby connections. Somehow, when the father participate during the delivery, it's when the father see that everything, how the baby coming.
Right.
So there's some. It has I don't know about connection. It's much better when the father in the same room. Mm-hmm. But not all fathers can. Some men they can't see like the blood and everything like that, or the wife is suffering or something like that.
I have to admit, I've never. Excuse me, guys. I've never seen that before. I've never been in the delivery room before. So I really don't know how I'm going to react. You know, it's just like if you've never been on a boat before, you hope that you don't get sick, you know, on the boat. But you never know until the first time you go out on the ocean. So it's kind of, in my opinion, it's the same thing. Like, you don't know how quite you're going to react until you're actually in that delivery room, in that process. But Anne has an idea, and I'm reading from the comments. She just said... She said you could register for baby stuff at Target or somewhere and your address is hidden so those that want to send you something could. You know what, Ann, we've thought about that. That's actually a great idea, and I think we'll probably make a decision here the next day or two, couple days or something, but we may do like a little baby registry through Target or somebody like that. And as soon as we do, we absolutely will let you guys know. And I really appreciate you even bringing that up. So it's a great idea, and yes, we're so definitely planning on doing that. So Matthew said he's going to be watching those birthing coaching classes on YouTube because our birthing coach class is almost likely canceled. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that would be canceled. Birthing coach classes, any class. I mean, even our gym. I keep getting the alerts that they're obviously the gyms aren't doing anything right now, so they're doing like virtual yoga classes and that type of thing. But yeah, that's true. Matthew, remind me. You're in New York City, New York State. I can't remember when we met. No, out in. Or was it Indianapolis?
But not it's New York.
It was not New York. Okay, I apologize.
I remember that from the middle of country, but
maybe it was like Indianapolis, Chicago area. I mean, I am a registered EMT, so I didn't know that. Matthew's a registered EMT. He's a like a medical rescue guy.
Oh,
that's really cool.
Yeah.
He said, if I had to, I could catch the baby at home. Indianapolis, that's what it was. I knew it. Okay, Indianapolis. Sorry, yes. I had to think there for a second. The New York thing threw me off, but yeah, Indianapolis. I don't know how things are in Indy. I assume it's probably the same as everywhere else. I know, like, our caseload, they just announced it just jumped over 1,000 here in Florida. So for the virus.
Oh, yeah.
We just went over 1,000 tonight. Yeah, I just saw it.
A couple days ago, you said that it's 500.
Yeah, so it's... But you know what? Like they keep saying, it's not necessarily that it's spreading so much faster. It's just they're just testing a lot more people. So now we know that who has it and who does not have it, that type of thing. So, hey, Mike, how are you, my friend?
Hi, Mike.
My baby. Ann said when she had her baby, she said she told the doctor to make sure to wipe it off before she gave it to her.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
Really look like it's a lot of color on the baby, white color. I don't know.
Let the professionals handle that stuff, Ann. I agree. Sometimes. Matthew said he's moving, but soon to Orlando. Matthew, you're moving to Orlando. Congrats on that.
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, for baby, it will be a lot of fun to be here.
Yeah. That's what we keep saying every time. Like, having the baby here in Orlando, there's growing up. I'm just assuming that it's probably a fun place for a child to grow up, right?
Yeah.
Disney World, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Universal, SeaWorld, Busch Gardens.
A lot.
It's so much to do.
Plus the pictures and videos. It's like it's really like a live in the magic.
It is.
So the baby who born here, they will be very lucky to live here.
Yeah. I think one issue, honestly, talking, relating to the baby and so forth and what's going on currently with this virus, it's caused us a little bit of trouble. We really had planned to take some nice maternity pictures with Mama out at the Magic Kingdom, like in front of the castle. And unfortunately, get to do it.
This virus started like last time we said. Ours started since January.
Well, that was the thing, yeah.
Then even in the end of December, I have some issue. So it started, and we haven't chance to go to have that pictures.
Yeah, and so we
couldn't go to our church today. We were watching the service live. Right?
Yeah, our church, like a lot of church services, they were being done through Facebook Live, YouTube Live, or something. And yeah, obviously the churches are closed. Heck, I think I feel like I read somewhere, and this was a while ago, but I feel like the Vatican canceled globally all Catholic church services. So, like, you're talking about thousands of churches on that end that are shut down. But, it's everywhere with that. So, but yeah. We didn't get a chance to do our maternity pictures yet, and we're trying to think of somewhere, I don't know, like somewhere to still kind of get those Disney-esque pictures. But, here, let me say this right now. I had to actually drive across Disney property today. I had to drop a piece of equipment off. It was kind of an emergency thing to a buddy of mine. And we did it very safely. We did it through social distancing. I put the piece of equipment in my trunk of my car, drove across, property. I took the piece of equipment out the trunk of my car, and I basically left and let him come and get the piece of equipment. So we didn't even come in contact with each other. But driving across property, it's so, obviously there's just nothing. It's desolate. It's quiet. The hotels, resorts, and everything, of course, are shut down. I don't even think there's anywhere really to stop just on the side of the road to snap a few pictures. There's just nowhere. And you don't want to get in the way of the security. I know if you guys didn't see, maybe y'all probably didn't see, but I know one little Disney vlogger had a little bit of a run-in with Disney security yesterday, which was totally uncool. And I'm not going to say who that vlogger or blogger was, but Disney is running on a skeleton crew just like everybody else. And last thing Disney security needs is to be dealing with people running around with cameras. So I just don't think we're going to get to do our maternity pictures at Disney. We're going to have to wait till the baby girl gets here and Disney reopens. But
who knows? Let's think positive.
Maybe it'll open quick.
I will be scared right away to go to the Disney. I don't know.
Well, that was one of the things I brought up in the Facebook group. Speaking of that, if you guys haven't joined the group, do make sure to join the group. It's a lot of fun. Links in the description. But one of the questions I brought up to the group was, hypothetically, if Disney opened on May 15th, would you be going that opening day if there's no obviously there won't be a vaccine yet? Or would you want to wait? I was actually surprised, though. A lot of people responded that they would go on opening day.
Yeah.
But, I mean, then again, a lot of... Yeah, it's not a scientific poll. Maybe not enough people answered or weren't comfortable saying, no, I'd rather wait. But obviously it looks like they're not opening April 1st. I mean, everything kind of coming shows that they're not opening it on April 1st. So it keeps getting pushed back a couple weeks further. So am I missing any questions going on here? Let's see. I wanted to read what Matthew was saying about the caseloads here. Let me jump in here for a second. He said his caseload, the number of cases went up to 276. 6 deaths, and he agrees it's because of they're increasing the number of people getting tested. Yes, Mike, we hope that the virus flattens itself out fast. Firefighters are in high demand. I just got for paramedic training, so that's a golden ticket. Oh, very cool. So he just got approved for paramedic training, EMT style paramedic training here in Orlando. And he said that they're hiring firemen like crazy here, firefighters.
Oh, yeah.
Good job, Matthew. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And he said he wants to give his son the childhood that they didn't have, this very happy childhood. Yeah, same type of thing. I agree.
Yeah.
Can't beat that.
He's asking about did we pick the name? I mean, we talked about last time about baby name. We picked, but that will be like surprise. It's not secret, but it will. Well, we just want to keep until the baby.
That's going to be our final thing. We already let the family and friends know she's a she or it's a girl, but we're going to save the name for after she's into this world.
Yep.
Yeah. So that'll be it. So you guys will find out first thing too as soon. So very soon.
Yeah.
Mike is saying to get a green screen backdrop. Man, Mike. It's not a bad idea. I've never really.
I was thinking about that too.
Green screen. I've never played with a green screen. Obviously, we have to do something we need a better background. I agree.
You know Photoshop. You can do with the something with Photoshop too.
Yeah, I've watched like a couple of YouTube videos. That's the great thing about YouTube. You can learn you can self-teach yourself now everything. I mean, you can self-teach yourself how to make a you know what? These N95 masks. If you go on YouTube, if you really want one, you can watch a YouTube video on how to make one. I actually watched a video on how to home make, not just a little cotton, cover, but an actual N95 mask. You can basically hand make one, thanks to YouTube teaching you how to do it. So I've watched YouTube videos about how to do green screens. I just, as if we're going to continue to do live streams more and more, we may have to consider something like that, like setting up a cool cool green screen, much better background. But hopefully, we can kind of get back out to Disney. We can get back out to the warehouse and that type of stuff soon, but we'll see. That is all up in the air.
What did Christy said?
Christy said Disney has been my oldest son's babysitter for the last 10 years. Yes, very cool.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say now? Well, anyway, so I spent my day. I drove across property, had to drop off that piece of equipment, came back. I actually uploaded a little video because I just had my phone. I just kind of filmed. In case if you guys are curious what Disney looks like right now, if you want to see desolate Disney, empty Disney, Wild West Disney.
Yeah, and it's creepy. Well, it looks creepy.
Now in like the Disney blogs and in Disney Facebook groups, including ours, a lot of people have been conversating about the construction. Is the construction going on? Is the construction going on? And the answer to that is no. I don't see any construction going on Disney property, whether it's the shopping center where they're building the new Target on Western Way, the new hotel out in front of the Swan and Dolphin, that type of stuff that I've driven by. I don't see any evidence of construction, so I don't know what the deal is with that. But it made me start thinking if so Illinois, New York, California, they're all on like a stay-at-home order. Probably the closest thing to a lockdown that we've seen so far. Where you can't go outside unless it's for medical reasons, you need food, pharmacists, hospital. So it made me start thinking, does that mean like if that happens here in Florida, I guess Disney has to let their grounds go? Like they can't keep cutting the grass and maintaining they can't keep maintaining. I can't imagine what Disney would look like for like 2 or 3 weeks unmaintained. It'd be insane.
I think they will start maybe in 1 month,
Maybe.
Just want to shut down for a while, don't do anything until slow down this virus somehow.
Yeah.
Don't have all people in the same time to the hospital.
Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be interesting. So.
Here from Canada, Tara Lay. Hi, Tara. How are you?
Hey, Tara. How are you up in the Great North? Hope everything in Canada is going well. Yes. And you know what, Matthew, you're right. Matthew was like he doesn't recommend making your own mask. That is true. If you just, if you're stuck in a situation where you can't find one, if you buy those 3M AC filters, like for your house, you can use that filter because those filters block viruses. Now, I'm sure it's obviously not going to be, I wouldn't want to be standing in front of someone with the virus with that on. But if you have nothing and you're trying to make something, you can buy those AC filters and cut your pattern and essentially kind of make yourself an N95 respirator.
For me, it's terrible when I put the mask.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable.
It seems to me it's the end of the world. I can't breathe. I don't know. I just forced to put. I don't know.
It's hard. Well, I mean, if you're already, if you're pregnant and you need a little bit of extra oxygen, I can imagine wearing the mask. You're already lowering your oxygen level probably a little bit. So, but I mean, hopefully, well, it looks like all those N95s that the government is calling for, they look like they're all going to be going to the hospitals, of course, and paramedics and EMTs, and whether they're ever going to in this crisis make it back to Home Depot and Lowe's. I have no idea. So if you're in trouble, you got to get yourself in front of a doctor and you're afraid to go with nothing at all, maybe try to make yourself a homemade mask or something. But let's see. What do we got here? Missing any questions? Oh, okay. Ann said that her husband sent her an article that all construction at Disney has been halted. Yeah, that makes sense because that's what it looked like to us or to myself. But
hi, Linda. From Massachusetts.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Up in New England. My mama is from Massachusetts. She was born in Boston. Actually, well, little town outside of Boston. Weymouth. No. Yeah, Weymouth. Weymouth is my mother. Quincy was my uncle. From it's like little towns outside of.
Uncle Ed?
Yeah.
He born there.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I love Boston. I love New England. It's been a while since we've been up there.
Yeah.
Last time we were up there, we went to Nantucket.
Nantucket.
Yeah,
I have
beautiful.
been there.
And of course, we're seafood people. How can you not love New England?
Yeah.
I know we talk about seafood on this channel all the time, and y'all see our dining reviews. But I mean, New England seafood is hands down the best seafood. My Ipswich clams.
Yeah.
Linda probably knows about Ipswich clams.
Mm-hmm.
But
don't forget again we start to talk about food.
That's right. See, look at that. I already started drifting towards talking about dining and food.
seafood.
Yeah, that's my guilty pleasure. I can't help it. So go Red Sox. I agree. What was I going to say though? My husband is from Worcester. Oh, Worcester, Mass. Very cool. We're our nationality. Well, I was born in the United States. I'm Armenian from the United States. Susanna is Armenian from Armenia, and I'm
original.
You are an original Armenian from Armenia.
Yeah.
And honey, you might not know this either. The very first Armenian church ever built in the United States was in Worcester, Mass.
Really?
Yeah, and there's actually a large Armenian community in Worcester, Mass. So that's pretty cool. Worcester. I have some distant cousins that live in Springfield. I can't remember if Springfield is west of. No, I think Springfield's a little east of Worcester. I can't remember, but yeah, that's pretty cool.
Hi, Laura. How are you doing?
Yeah, hey, Lyra. Very cool. Linda says she's in Western Mass. Moved there from Cape Cod. Oh, yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, missing the ocean, sure. The ocean up there is quite cold, though. It's a cold ocean. Growing up, we grew up in Virginia, or I grew up in Virginia, so my closest beach was Virginia Beach. Virginia Beach is, Virginia Beach is probably like the closest beach when you start going south on the eastern seaboard where like the water is comfortable. Maybe Ocean City, Maryland is the same way, but the water up there, like if you want to go swimming in the ocean in Massachusetts year round, it's a little chilly. At least for me, for what I'm used to, it's a little chilly. It's tough. Definitely not like Daytona or St. Augustine or Clearwater.
If compared with Clearwater,
Clearwater
was like it was very warm.
Yeah, it's like a hot tub.
Yeah.
Clearwater's,
A
one
little bit more than warm.
we had some guests visit us from Virginia actually back in like August, right? Remember?
Yeah.
And we took them over to Clearwater. It was such a hot day,
Yep.
and I couldn't wait to get in the ocean to cool off. And I went in the ocean. It actually did the opposite. It made me hotter. I was like,
The water was hotter than outside.
yeah. I was like, the city of Clearwater needs to dump some ice cubes into this, the water over here, try to cool it down a little bit. But that's funny. Let's see. Canada is doing okay. Can't come to the USA now. Disney is my happy place. So seeing you both reminds me of Disney. Oh, well, thank you. It brings us happiness too to have you guys here.
Yeah,
I think this helps us all because we're all kind of just stuck in our homes, and it's kind of fun just to chat with everybody. Look, through the power of the internet, we're chatting with people in Canada. How awesome is that?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Canadian-U.S. travel thing is at a stop right now, I guess.
By the way, a lot of Canadians recently have been here, right?
Well, we have a ton of Canadians.
Yeah.
And, like I said before, we live in Davenport. And I mean, Davenport, Claremont, tons and tons of Canadians. I see nothing but cars from
And
Ontario.
they drove, there's cars.
Quebec,
Yep.
Ontario, and it's, I feel sometimes like we live in little Canada. It's very cool. My dad lived in Canada for 2 years. My father's Armenian from Beirut, Lebanon, and he came here during the Civil War in the 1970s in Lebanon. But before he came to the United States, he first went to Montreal.
Yeah.
Lived for 2 years in Montreal. Couldn't take the winters. It was just entirely too cold. Couldn't take all the snow and winter of Montreal, and then he came south to the United States.
Once the baby grow, we will go visit Canada too, right?
Yeah.
I want so bad.
Speaking of that, remember we saw the new Canadian film at Epcot.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were able to get in to see that before everything shut down. We did get to see the new O Canada show, which was very cool, and it makes Montreal and Toronto look so beautiful. Never visited Canada yet, myself either. Haven't been so.
Mike said first church was in Jamestown.
Yeah, that might be correct, Mike. I was referring to the first Armenian church, Armenian Orthodox
because
church.
we have here St. James too in the Virginia.
Well,
right?
he's talking about Jamestown, Virginia. The Jamestown, Jamestown, the first settlement. That's probably correct, Mike. I was referring to the first Armenian church. It was built in like the 1890s, I think, in Worcester, Mass. We have an Armenian church in Virginia. We have one in Richmond, actually, St. James. We have one here in Orlando. So that's very cool. Lara, her hub got laid off Friday. Glad to see you. Lara, I'm sorry about that. She said her husband lost their job on Friday.
Oh.
Business wise, I don't, I want to try to keep my, not, how do I want to say this? I want to not complain about myself because it's hard for everybody at home, for everybody at Disney, for everybody all over the country and the world. And unfortunately, I don't know. I mean, the job loss thing, it seems like it's just kind of speeding up, accelerating. We know from just keeping it with the Disney sphere, a lot of people have lost their positions at Disney already in the different restaurants and so forth. And
our small business.
Well, our business. You guys know we do Disney matching T-shirts. It's directly related to tourism and Disney, and it's basically screeched to almost 100% halt.
Yeah.
Very, very, very bad.
It's just but you have to not lose your hope.
Yeah.
That is the most important. Stay a little bit. It's hard, but you have to, as much as you can, stay positive.
That's it. It was very difficult for the first week.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I was dealing with the stress and anxiety of it, and then finally I just had to accept it. Like, this is truly something out of everybody's hands. There's nothing anybody can do about this, right? Like, you can't blame yourself. There's no one to blame. It's just I don't even know how to explain it because really there's nothing to compare it to.
Nothing.
There's no one to be angry at. It's just it looks like the government's going to try to help. Maybe this is the time where we need the government to really help us. So I've seen anywhere from $1,000 per adult, $500 per child to, I think I saw someone throwing the idea out of even $1,200 per adult, and all those small business loans and giving corporations money so they can possibly keep people on payroll where they don't have to lay off. Who knows what's going to happen, guys? But I can tell you right now, myself, Susanna, we're praying for everybody, that everyone has a good outcome, that you guys all stay healthy, that we all stay healthy. There's economic suffering, there's physical suffering, and we just don't. Hopefully, this all just passes quickly.
I said,
we move
Stephen,
on.
actually, I have seen worse time in my country when it was war.
Yeah.
We didn't have electricity.
Well, they may not know something. Armenia was a republic. It was a part of the Soviet Union. So Susanna was. How old were you when the Soviet Union collapsed? Well, you don't have to answer your age question. About 10.
Yeah.
About 10 years old when the Soviet Union collapsed.
Yeah, it was very difficult for my parents.
Sure.
But I remember during the 24 hours, they gave us only 1 hour electricity. Can you imagine?
1 hour.
Yeah. So
rolling blackouts.
and my mother trying to cook, to wash, to prepare us for shower. And
your generation is known in Armenia as the generation that studied under candlelight.
Yeah.
You used to have to do your schoolwork with candlelight. Didn't even have
by
electricity.
myself because it take about 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So before to admit to the university, I study under candlelight. That's subject to go to the examination. And for school too, our school was almost shut down. We were going, but we didn't have a book. We just it was everything just fake. Go to school, just go there.
Yeah.
Because it was cold, no electricity, nothing. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
No book.
Armenia's weather it's a brutal winters.
And beside electricity, we didn't have any food. We just survive as we can. And even I'm now when I'm remembering that time, it's hard to believe that we survived.
But you could see now that
I can't compare. I mean,
right. But you could see now you went through that time period, and now you're on the other side, and it's a happy side.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same thing with what the world is going through now, where we're in this kind of dark period where we're going to emerge, hopefully in a couple of weeks, couple of months, however long it's going to take, and it'll all be in the past. At some point in the future, everything going on right now is going to be in our past.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Course,
and we'll be able to go back to enjoying life.
That long.
I hope not. I'm trying to stay positive with all what is it, hydrochloroquine and if I'm saying that right, I can't remember, hydrochloroquine and this the Z-Paks or whatever. I know that I think in New York they're really going to start prescribing it to infected patients right away. So hopefully in a week we'll have an idea if it's helping people really or not. So
yeah.
What do we have here in the? I love Niagara Falls. Ann says, and I've never been to Niagara Falls. Absolutely want to see Niagara Falls. She says she lives close to Niagara Falls. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Niagara Falls is maybe a 10-hour drive from New York City, I think. I can't remember, but I'm thinking it's somewhere around there.
The letter she is asking, actually, you three, how baby girl and mama? We are very good. Thanks God, the baby is good. Every time we are visiting to the doctor, they said everything is okay, like normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
That's been the only normal thing.
yeah, that is
The pregnancy, the most important
important.
thing. Yeah, the most important thing. That's been the normal part. Yeah. Matthew said he says he's a member of the Jamestown Society and the Mayflower Society and Sons of the American Revolution. Knowing your heritage is so important. That's very cool, Matthew. Very, very cool. Mike, I have no idea where the first well was dug, but I promise in the next live stream I will have an answer for you. I will.
Hi, Jessica Myers. How are
I have
you?
an answer. Hey, Jessica, how's it going? The answer to this, but what are y'all doing now? Let me read this one. It says, "Hi, Sammy." Linda's asking. She said she may have missed this. What are we doing now that we're on lockdown? You know, Linda, we're just doing like everybody else. We're staying home. I'm working on the business, trying to stay positive with the business. So I've had some ideas that I have not had a chance to act on because I'm normally kind of busy. So working on the business, hoping that when everything starts to normalize in again a couple of weeks or a couple of months.
Cooking.
Susanna's cooking and preparing for baby. Why don't you tell them what you cooked today, honey? Because I know some people asked about
I'm
your
still
cooking.
adding my stuff in the Amazon because I have a lot of missing that stuff for baby that we should buy, but we didn't from the store.
Yeah, now we're shifting to online
I'm
buying.
slowly adding to buy from the Amazon online, like from the different online stores. And like housework, preparing, it's a little bit hard for... I'm getting very often tired, so I'm slowly doing the preparing, and plus everyday cooking. Today I cook dolma.
Dolma.
Yeah.
You guys, maybe... Well, I think American people eat dolma. They don't call it dolma, but dolma is an Armenian dish, and it's... you want to explain what it is?
It's a stuffed cabbage.
Yeah, stuffed vegetables. It doesn't always have to be cabbage. It could be tomatoes. It can
Yeah,
be cabbage.
I wanted to tell
peppers. So I think American. I just will say
that is one type of. That is called, like, I make today summer dolma.
Summer dolma.
Yeah, because in Armenia it was time. Now we have all around season that vegetables like here. But before we didn't have like tomato, eggplants
Right.
or peppers. So by that time, like winter time, we could just make dolma from the cabbage. And meat. So the dolma, it's a traditional our food, and we have about 50 kind of dolmas. Yeah, and we have a even festival of dolma. So today we are usually use the meat. Our people like eat with meat. But there are some dolmas, it's called like fake dolma.
Sooty dolma, fake dolma.
It has only rice inside.
Now, some of you guys may have tried dolma before. If you have a Greek restaurant in your towns, because the Greeks, they have it a lot of times on their menus in American Greek restaurants. They call it dolmades, and dolmades is made with stuffed grape leaves. So and we do it too.
They are making from the grape leaves too.
Yeah. So I think a lot of Eastern European countries have adopted dolma too.
Yeah.
A lot of
this
Eastern.
time I make summer dolma, which is like stuffed cabbage.
Yep.
I put the tomato. In tomato, you're cleaning inside, taking some stuff to put the meat.
Yep.
And I use the pepper, green pepper and red pepper again. I clean inside and put that one. You can use the eggplants.
You can use eggplant too.
So there are a lot of
Very, very healthy.
And the most important thing, usually the next day it's becoming much tastier.
It has a chance to sit in the juices and start to really absorb all the flavors of the vegetables and stuff that it's
Steven
marinated.
doesn't like to eat leftover. Unless he eat next day for breakfast or lunch, right?
I eat some. Now that we're in the middle of a global pandemic, I appreciate eating the leftovers. I'll say that. Yeah, I'm a spoiled first world kind of guy that maybe doesn't eat the leftovers every time. I'm learning real fast to eat my leftovers now.
Yeah.
Quick lesson.
So I didn't make too much. What I wanted to tell.
It was very good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah,
I
me
definitely
too.
enjoyed it. Something nice to have. And so, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we're working on here at the house. Working on business, working on cooking. And
I'm going to start to
ready for
knit a
baby.
little bit for baby. Do some costumes for her. I didn't start yet, but I should.
That's the thing you guys may not know. Susanna has a Etsy store where she does all kinds of knitted little baby outfits and, Princess Leia knitted outfit, like the little hats for the babies and Tinkerbell. We actually shut the store off temporarily.
Yeah.
Now that she's getting ready to have a baby herself, she doesn't have quite that amount of time to do customer orders. But maybe in a couple of months you'll
When
reopen.
I'll make for our baby, I'll show you guys.
Yeah, little Tinkerbell, little Princess Leia. They're very, very cute. Very, very cool. So.
Yep.
But yeah, that's kind of what we're working on at the house. Let's see. What do we got here? A lot of comments here. I want to try to answer. Jessica said, oh, I see where Tara said. Tara said it's about 9 hours from New York. There you go. I knew it was somewhere right around there. Oh, very cool. Matthew said now Matthew, I don't know if your wife actually ever traveled to Armenia, but it looks like his wife did missionary work in Russia. It said that the people became happy, I guess, once the Soviet Union collapsed. But if you go to Russia, she said, I understand. He said if you go to Russia, the people are still kind of sad and oppressed. Yeah, I mean, here's my feel. When I go to Armenia is like a lot of Eastern European countries. It's known for its hospitality like no other. Something that we're kind of not used to here. If you've never traveled to that part of the world, they will make you feel like you're their brother or their cousin, invite you to eat with them, have dance party. I mean, so yeah, Armenia, I think you get that perception that the people are extraordinarily happy, but Armenians, if it's not a tourist, I think they'll let you know that they're not that happy either. Like their economic situation in Armenia, it's still tough.
Yeah, but still, Armenian
But
people,
free,
they like
extraordinarily
to
free.
Have a party
Yeah.
with family. Here, they are not doing that.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
They definitely don't practice social distancing in Armenia. Armenia, it's about having big gatherings with friends and family and that type of thing. And
even neighbors, like the neighbors, the women, they like to meet each other, drink coffee together, make some cakes.
yeah,
Here, the neighbors, they just don't have any connection. Everybody for themselves.
Armenia went through some big changes here too in the last 2 years. And Armenia was under a pretty oppressive government, Russian-backed, Putin-backed government, really since it was an independent country. Since it became independent from the Soviet Union, up until only 2 years ago. Armenia had a very cool, non-violent revolution. And a new government was installed, a new prime minister. Is a great guy, very pro-Western style leader, trying to really make great relationships with Western Europe and the United States. And so there's a lot of, I think, positivity in the Republic of Armenia now that you might not find in Armenia a couple years ago, and where you're still not going to find in a lot of the ex-Soviet republics, because most of those Soviet republics are still ruled by, even though they're not ruled by the Russian government, they're ruled by Russian-aligned governments.
It sounds like independent, but actually they have dictators.
Russia basically controls a lot of those countries.
Yep.
Georgia is kind of one that's kind of had their revolution. Theirs was a little more violent with Russia. Armenia's it's peaceful, and Armenia's always kind of in the middle because they have to keep a good relationship with the West and the East, or with Russia. So I don't want to go too deep into the geographic politics of Central Asia, but if y'all ever want to have that discussion, we can do that in another video.
Yep.
What else do we have here? Jessica Meyer says she is sewing masks for family members and locals. You know what, Jessica? I don't know if you were on the stream when I just was talking about that. That's awesome. I know they're calling for people in the clothing industry or people that can sew and knit and that type of thing that has, can make masks. It's great. I don't know which kind you're making. I watched a video on YouTube of someone actually making a homemade N95 type of respirator mask. They used AC furnace filters or AC central air filters. They bought the 3M filters that have the virus protection, and they took those. They took the filter right out of the metal cage that the filter lays in, cut the pattern out and everything, and made a really cool.
Actually, if we have a sewing machine, I can sew too. But
yeah, you would need a sewing machine.
Let's see if once we will feel that we need already, it's good you buy the material and everything.
I bought it just in case. You never know. We have to still go to the doctors and the hospitals several times between now and mid-May.
Yeah.
We have N95 respirators. Thank God I bought them. I don't know why I bought them, but months ago. Mm-hmm. They just happened to be in the garage. Yeah, but something told me, so I have those. But I actually feel bad that our medical professionals don't have them. And when I say I have those, I don't have a lot. And believe me, if I had more than two, because that's basically all I've got. If I had more than two, I would definitely donate them to the doctors in our local hospital.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's it. So, what else do we have here?
What Mike says as far as baby, you guys.
As far as the baby, you guys had mentioned in the May, but then it was mid-May. Are you measuring ahead in your ultrasounds? We're technically that's a good question, Mike. I'm not sure why we moved. Why did it go back to May 15th from May 30th? What was the reason?
Because our baby,
size, right?
Size.
Yeah.
She is in normal, but she is a little bit heavier than.
Yep.
That day they changed the date.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And Linda said, "Dolma is so good." Yes, it is. Yes, maybe we'll
Welcome to our house.
Yeah.
We have a lot of dolma now.
Yeah, come eat with us. We'll be very hospitable. Come. Oh, I guess we have to wait till the virus is finished. We have to socially distance.
Yeah, that is the worst part.
I forgot. We have to socially distance.
I wanted to compare with that worst time that we live in our country. This is the big difference that you can't have a communication with your relative. You have to keep distance with everybody.
Right.
That is the worst part, and you have to be locked at home.
Yeah. Let's see. Linda said, "I've had dolma made with cabbage and grape leaves." Yeah, that's how we did it. You did cabbage and tomato, right?
Tomato and peppers.
Peppers. I'm sorry, peppers.
Usually we use the eggplants too. It's called summer dolma, but I didn't have eggplants. That's why I didn't put eggplant. With my mother was cooking grape leaves with cabbage together. Actually, it's a different taste. It tastes again so good. That grape leaves taste give to the cabbage. It different taste, but it's again tastes so good. And we do separate only grape leaves with meat again. That's stuffed inside. And we eat that with matzum, like it's a Greek yogurt.
Greek yogurt.
We mix in the Greek yogurt a little bit garlic, so that is like sauce. And we use for the grape leaves dolma.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Sounds very good. You know, if you guys are ever on your on your Disney vacation here in Orlando, and you wanted to try some good Middle Eastern food, there is a place not far from Disney property. There's two. There's one called Jerusalem. Very, very good Jerusalem. It's a Middle East. I think it's actually Moroccan owned. Similar type of food. I believe they have like dolma. They might have stuffed grape leaves. I don't know if they have the cabbage or not. And then in Davenport, there's another really good one. It's a Greek restaurant. What is the name of that one now? I can't remember. Next video I do, I'll give you the name of the Greek restaurant. But even though it's a Greek
small place, but they cook really
Oh
good.
my gosh, yeah. It's a Greek restaurant, but the owners are actually Palestinian. And they're from Jerusalem. So they have that style of cooking, and they do the lamb, the dolmas, all of that type of food, and it's extraordinarily authentic and very, very, very good. So if that's something that you're ever interested in trying on your Disney vacation, if you want to eat off property, those are always options. They're both very, very close to property too. So Mike says he's living off of salad, fish, and water and liquid bread. There has been a little bit of liquid bread consumed in this house as well. Beer. Liquid bread is beer.
Oh.
And a lot of fish and water.
Here, Drew Power, he said, "What? I thought the famous Armenian dish was white meat, orange chicken."
I think orange chicken.
No, we don't have orange. That is Chinese.
Yeah, that's in the Chinese cuisine. That's wrong cuisine, Drew Powers. Wrong one.
Yeah.
It would be great though if Armenians made orange chicken. I would try it.
Yeah.
Technically, we're Americans. We make orange chicken. So you know what? There could be Armenians making orange chicken, Drew.
In the beginning, I even couldn't eat that orange chicken. It was sweet. For me, here's food was in the beginning. The bread, everything, the dishes was sweet. Now I learn a little bit to eat that sweet with food. In Armenia, opposite, we don't like with our dishes. If it's sweet, it's already dessert. But we have only one dish, rapama. You know that.
That's in the pumpkin.
Yeah, it's a stuffed pumpkin. Only that one. It's like it has a special day for rapama they are making.
But you've never made that. I've never had that. We have to make that.
We can make
maybe in October.
Yeah.
We'll do gapama.
Yeah.
There's even a super cool song that goes along with when you eat gapama.
Yeah, we have a song about gapama.
Very fun song. Lara said that her Greek restaurant has a delicious dolma. I'm sure they do. You can actually get, what's funny in supermarkets? Okay, maybe not right now, although I don't know who would necessarily go buy all of them up, but you can get jarred dolmas, like stuffed grape leaves. You can get jarred stuffed grape leaves. They only have rice in them, but they're actually pretty good. If you just want to taste it, see what it tastes like.
Jessica, she said her husband doesn't eat leftovers.
It's hard, Jessica. I tell your husband I agree with him. It's very difficult sometimes. But now I'm appreciating the food that we've got, and I'm going to eat every bit of
Actually,
it.
we just in Armenia have such a dishes that like the dolma next day it's tastier. The same like a borscht. It's borscht. It sounds
Borscht
Russian.
is the Russian soup.
Yeah,
That's like the soup of
it's coming from
Russia.
Russian, but
National
we take
dish.
and we make Armenian again. We mix the meat and we are making another way.
Borscht is good.
Yeah, and
Isn't
that is taste next day better.
That's the one
than-
made with red beets, right?
Yeah.
The Russian soup.
It's like
they eat that in
vegetable soup.
Russia, Ukraine, all this old Russian republics.
Yeah, but they can make without meat, like just vegetables altogether. Or they can make with the fish. Can you imagine? I mean, it doesn't. I don't know how
Fish
it
soup.
will taste.
Yeah.
Or chicken. We are
chicken,
making from
maybe.
the beef.
Beef, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with beef. I don't know. There is one Armenian soup that is actually the Armenian soup is called chash.
Yeah.
And for us, I don't know how appetizing it is, but it's made from cow feet.
Yeah.
Cow feet. I don't know. Excuse me.
Because we are
I don't
old, the old, how to say, ancient.
Armenian people will look at you crazy if you don't sit down and
So
have a bowl
that dish
of
has
this
a
pacha.
story. That dish, it sounds funny for you, but how they start to eat because of when it was kingdom, the poor people was eating that. One day the king coming to see what his how to say slaves.
You're talking about Saint Gregory.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
So
We're going way back. We're going back like
he came and he
1700s.
has seen that they are eating some soup,
Okay.
which is white color, and he asked what you're eating, and they said that they give the meat to king. The feet that it stayed there, they are like cleaning and washing and boiling, and they eat that feet. And the king was curious, and he asked to try, and once he tried, he loved that dish, that soup so much.
Okay.
And actually, it's very, very healthy. It's very good for bones.
I'm sure it's healthy. It's probably very
And
healthy.
you eat that with lavash. But the main thing, you cook long. You start like in the evening. First, you have to clean very good. Now it's clean. They are selling. You can buy. It's clean already. You can cook. Even you can buy from the market frozen that soup now in Armenia. But if you want cook by yourself, all night you have to cook. And usually the men stay awake. You have to every time mix until that meat will come out from the bone.
Okay.
And the soup becoming like white color.
Huh?
You have seen, but you don't like to eat that.
I can't do it, guys.
I miss
don't
it
know.
so much. I miss. I don't know.
That's a tough one for me. Cow foot is a tough one.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe one day I'll try it.
it's very good.
By the way, you mentioned lavash. If people don't know, lavash is like a very thin bread, almost kind of
Like
like
pita bread.
like pita bread, or
But
like
it's
almost like a
still
tortilla,
thin.
very very thin, like flour tortilla. What do we got here? Do dolmas freeze well? They do, and will they be good freezer meal for when the baby comes? I think so. Yeah, you can freeze dolma.
Yeah.
Absolutely can freeze dolma.
Previous time I cook, Steven doesn't eat he ate next day, but I make a lot. So I freeze it, and sometimes I was taking from the freezer and heat up, and I was eating. It was very good. Yeah.
Lara said that, where was it? She said you'll be surprised with how much you're going to eat postpartum. So after you deliver the baby, you'll be surprised how much you want to
Really?
eat. Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, I don't have that appetite that they are talking. I was, before I know that it's pregnant woman, she has to eat a lot, she has a big appetite. This time, but guys, I don't know, maybe couple times, I never crave for some food. Just maybe for
Everybody's
some
different.
dessert that
Yeah.
I am trying, don't eat too much because of glucose. They said it's not good to eat but so far I don't have that big appetite like the pregnant woman have. I don't know. They said it's normal.
You never have wanted pickles. They always say pregnant ladies crave like jarred pickles
Yeah.
and that type of thing. No, you haven't had that problem.
Yeah.
Not that it's a problem. You haven't had that craving, I should say. Matthew said his wife joined the stream. She's in the other room, apparently. She's studying for criminal justice master's course. Wow, very nice. Sounds very cool. While Matthew should be studying for his fire rescue master's. Very cool. Glad to have you guys both in the stream. I'm not glad that I'm taking away from your studies. We're taking away from your studies. That's okay. Everybody needs a break right now a little bit. Take a break from the studies for an hour. You'll be all right. Christy asked us, what's our favorite ride? That's kind of taking the conversation another direction that I kind of like. I think we could answer that question. You already know. Go ahead. It's easy for you.
My number one ride, it's a Flight of Passage. I like that so much.
Now, I'll say, because I've mentioned, because people have asked us before, neither one of us have had the opportunity to ride Rise of the Resistance yet. When it opened, I had had the gallbladder surgery, hospital, all that craziness, so I couldn't ride it then. Then you're pregnant, so you didn't want to ride it. And then all of this happened. And so we just, with everything being shut down, we just haven't had the chance to get over there to ride it yet. So until I ride Rise of the Resistance, because a lot of people keep saying that's the best ride ever built, no matter what parks we're talking about. So since I can't count that one yet, I go with Flight of Passage as well. Yeah, Flight of Passage wins for me too. But it's always a hard question because I like so many Disney rides for different reasons.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, I almost have to categorize it. Like I like my dark rides. I like my roller coasters. I have my favorites in the different the different departments, the different types.
Yep.
So,
you're right.
but if I had to just if you said, Steve, let's go ride your favorite ride right now. I got the Fast Pass. I would say, okay, let's go do Flight of Passage.
Yep, me too.
What else do we got here? I'll go for people to add filters. Okay, so Jessica's talking about the mask. Jessica, I saw people making those masks. It's very cool. Honey, she's making the one where, I'm assuming it's cotton material, thin material, and then it has a pocket where you can slide the filter into it if you want to put the filter. That's probably what you should be making, in my opinion. That makes it easy.
I can knit,
because then
knitting will have a lot of holes inside.
Knitting is
that
probably
will not
too.
help.
I don't know, but I would assume though, if you do the one like she's doing with the pockets, then you can take that filter out. You could throw it in the wash the cotton or the the polyester, whatever that outer material is, and then you can slide another filter back into it. Very cool, Jessica. You're doing that. It's awesome to hear people coming together, working together, supporting each other, supporting our people. It's cliche to say it, but really, there's a lot of people out there on the front lines right now. When I go into Walmart, I ran in there today, and I had on a mask inside of my local Walmart and gloves, and I was in and out of there super fast, and I'm thinking to myself, I feel for the people that are working in here, but I understand they have to. But at the same time, there's people that are putting themselves on the front lines, and we have to pray for them and just be grateful and thankful that they're. I hate to even view it as a duty, but because it's not even necessarily a duty if you're an employee of a Walmart or a grocery store, but you're kind of carrying out a patriotic duty by being there, by going, because people need food. Unfortunately, none of us, as far as I know how to raise cattle, lamb, and grow vegetables that well. So we have to have food in this time. So, by the way, if anyone's watching or popping in that is in one of those industries, those essential industries, thank you.
Yeah.
And I hope that maybe Disney even thanks you guys. I was thinking about that. When Disney reopens, maybe they'll offer some awesome deals to some healthcare workers and grocery store workers and anybody else, bank tellers, people that are just essential that have to be there. It'd be great for Disney to offer something special to those people. They're working for it. So, what else do we got here? Monty is good. I won't eat it with lamb. But Monty, oh God, what is Monty? I'm trying to remember. It's kind of. Do you know Monty?
Monty.
It's more like Western Armenian Turkish. They eat it on that side.
How I remember you told me. But
My brother loves Monty, and I can't remember exactly what Monty
cool.
is. Monty. She wrote it here. See?
Yeah, I saw that.
Monty. I can't remember how she said, but I won't eat it with lamb, but I'll eat it with beef. Okay, yeah. Lamb is an interesting one, Linda. If you have lamb, okay. The first time I heard this, I laughed. But people would tell me that, lamb in America isn't the same lamb that they have overseas. And I was like, Come on, lamb is a lamb. It can't be that different. And so lamb in America, at least, has a very gamey taste. It's very, very gamey. When you go overseas to eat lamb, it doesn't have that gamey flavor. Someone told me it has to do with the lamb's tail. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not a butcher. I'm not a meat master. But someone told me before it has to do with the tail on the lamb. Here's different from in Europe. Yeah. And also, I've just always been told that whoever cooks lamb has to really know how to cook it correctly. If someone doesn't cook lamb right, it'll have a very gamey flavor. Hence, someone knows how to cook it correctly.
Can you remind me about that Monty? I forget that.
I don't remember exactly what Monty is. Yeah. You can look on your here. You could.
Maybe that is the same like hashlama we are making. Or no?
Hashlama. I think Monty's more of like a soup. I feel like you can Google an image or something, but I think Monty, if I'm not mistaken, is more of a soup. Mm-hmm. Next video, we'll talk about Monty.
Nicole, she said, "Oh my God, borscht." Matthew's wife.
Soup of the gods.
Yeah, it's really good.
Nicole, if you spent time doing missionary work over there, I'm sure you were definitely enjoying some borscht. I love it. Borscht is very, very good.
Yeah, very good. Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think now. There was an Armenian restaurant when we first moved to Orlando near iDrive-In Universal, and I believe he had borscht.
Who?
The Armenian restaurant, Ararat restaurant, that was by Universal Studios. I think he did borscht. Now I don't know. We have to find like a new Russian, restaurant, bakery or something, because a lot of times Russian bakeries will make borscht. Let's see. What do we have here? Okay, Mike is saying that his mom used to prepare a lot of German dishes that involved a lot of dishes being prepared in vinegar, pickled flavor, and he is telling us we need to try the German pavilion. Mike, I agree. Absolutely. You're not the first person to tell us that. Yeah, a lot of people keep telling us to try the German buffet. So
yeah, we should.
Once buffets are safe to try again, we'll definitely try it. Mike said the same thing when it opens up again. I agree. Honey, Nicole says she craves grapefruit.
Grapefruit?
Yeah. Her pregnancy craving has been grapefruit. She says she can't get enough. Yeah. That's interesting. It's healthy. Very, very healthy.
Yeah. There are some fruit you can't find. Like, I would like have again the pomegranate. I like pomegranate so much. Uh-huh. But they don't. But I still do. Pomegranate, yeah. I still don't craving. The only thing I was craving, not very often, the liver. Beef liver.
Beef liver.
Yeah.
Well, see, back in Richmond, there's the community. Like, what's the word I'm trying to say? Like the diversity in Richmond, Virginia, is a little bit. What am I trying to say? Maybe a little more Middle Eastern. We're a lot closer to Washington D.C., so there's a lot more Middle Eastern bakeries and markets and stuff. So we were able to get chicken livers. Yeah. Beef liver.
They have here in the Walmart chicken liver.
They do. I don't know the quality though. No. Like in the Middle Eastern bakeries, it's fresh.
The liver is soft. It's not like meat. Yeah. Once it's frozen, after when it's melted, it's not the same. It's like they said that they have in that next to the Jerusalem restaurant. There's
a bakery there, and actually we went when we first moved here, also kind of near Universal, and I can't remember the name of it. I think it's called Cedars of Lebanon or Cedars is the Lebanon like national tree and flag. So whatever. So I think it was called Cedars of Lebanon. That was that huge. It's almost like a Sam's Club, Costco style warehouse of like Middle Eastern types of food. Remember? Yeah. I don't remember if they had the liver, but that's another subject.
I just want to buy the fresh and cook by myself.
I like liver. I don't. You cook liver good. I don't know.
Yeah, but before meet me, you never eat.
No. I mean,
I remember there's a lot of people. Virginia, we went to our doctor. Somehow, the conversation was about like I was a little bit low in my iron, and so. And and I said that like he started to tell the food what I can eat, spinach, this one, that one, and I asked him about liver because it's very good, it's healthy actually, but not everybody can eat. Yeah. So our doctor, was so funny how he looked, his face like Jesus, he's like a girl. Yeah.
It's actually funny. Yeah. There's a famous YouTuber. I don't know if you guys have ever watched him before or not. Not a Disney YouTuber. He's a travel vlogger, Bald and Bankrupt. Yeah. Maybe I'll link the video in the description below if you want to watch it. But Bald and Bankrupt is actually funny. He loves traveling well, all over the world, but really his specialty is the Soviet Union republics, old
Yep.
Soviet Union. He loves checking that stuff out. So he was just in Armenia
In
when
this
all
worst
of
part.
when all of this started happening, and he actually got almost stuck there. He was able to finally fly out via Moscow or something. But anyway, so the one restaurant that he had the chance to go to, he didn't know what he was ordering, and they served him liver. And he said it was the absolute most disgusting thing in his life he'd ever eaten. So I understand for a lot of people, if you've never had liver before and you don't even expect to
You
taste
know,
it.
in Armenia too, not everybody likes.
Yeah,
I don't know.
my
but
mother
I-
loved it. You love it, and I
so
kind of like
much.
it. It's
Yeah.
not my favorite, but I'll eat
That
it.
is the one thing you have to prepare correct way,
Yeah.
because some people they don't know. You have to take that skin from the liver. Actually, you have to pull it.
You know how to
When you
prepare it.
leave that on the skin and you cut and cook it, then you can taste the animal like cow taste. You
Yeah.
know the
Yeah, yeah.
smell.
Yeah.
You have to know how to prepare, and you have to put the carrot. You have to put the garlic.
Okay.
That it takes that taste, bad taste, like smell.
Maybe we could do a video of you preparing some liver.
I don't think a lot of people would like to see how to prepare the liver.
Corrine Delgado is asking to see the shirt that I'm wearing. This is
Ah,
actually,
yeah.
I will
This
show
is for
it.
today.
This is a shirt that I put together, and it's kind of for, oh, I'm going the wrong way. It's kind of for the current
Keep
situation.
calm.
It's Keep Calm, Disney will reopen soon.
Yeah, and this is Mickey with the mask.
Mickey's wearing his little mask, and yeah, it's like a Keep Calm, Disney will reopen soon. Actually, oops, sorry, I keep kicking my camera. If you guys are interested, if it's a shirt that you that you like and want to wear, just to try to have take a little light in the situation or a little fun in the situation, it is on on our website. I'll you know what, I'll put a link for it in the description down below. After this video is done, when I'm posting it to YouTube, I'll put a
Some
link.
people buy during this time.
It's yeah. I mean, you know, you got to find a little fun in it. I feel that, look, a lot of people have obviously had to cancel their vacations. A lot of people haven't even rescheduled yet because they don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty about when they can actually reschedule for what, you know, so they have a little fun with it or something. But yeah, I'll put the link in the description if you want yourself a little Keep Calm, Disney will reopen soon shirt. They're there. So, Christy said her favorite ride is Rock and Roller Coaster. You know, Christy, I love Rock and Roller Coaster when I was younger. I used to be a roller coaster fanatic. I can't explain to you how much of a fanatic of roller coasters I was. Then, a couple of years ago, I hurt my hip, lower back and hip, and after that, it's kind of taken me out of the hardcore roller coaster game. I'm actually almost fully recovered from that, so I am ready to start riding roller coasters again. And Rock and Roller Coaster is fantastic. But I used to be a humongous roller coaster guy. I used to love to go, and if some of you maybe have been there, if it's near where y'all live, but Cedar Point, I went one time. I shouldn't say I used to go. I went one time with my nephew to Cedar Point, and if you're not familiar with Cedar Point, it is like the home of the most intense, crazy, I was just going to say Star Wars. I don't know. I'm reading a comment. I saw Star Wars. It made me like think Star Wars. No, the most intense, crazy roller coasters you'll ever see in your life. I don't know. They have, wow, amazing.
I never tried.
I would love to
I
I would love to take you to Cedar Point. Even if you don't ride roller coasters, Cedar Point is a blast. It's so, it's beautiful. It's right there on, is that Lake, I think it's Lake Erie, if I'm not mistaken. I know, like, when you're on, like, some of those roller coasters, they're so tall,
only
you
the
can
one-
actually see Canada across the water.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I
Canada's over
try
there.
only the Yeti one.
Yeti.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that the only one that I try.
I think that's it for you.
The Space Mountain we did together.
No, because I haven't been able to ride a roller coaster in the
No.
last 4 or 5 years.
Steven, yeah.
I'm pretty
Steven
good, but like
doesn't-
if I'm on a roller coaster, I still am not like the jerks can make my hip or back hurt. So I'm trying not to aggravate
Yeah,
it, but
it's better
I'm
stay-
much better, and I feel like I could probably do some not Cedar Point level roller coasters, not ones where you could see Canada from the top of them, but we did like Slinky Dog.
Yeah, Slinky, but
Those are
it's not
fine.
that.
Yeah, those are
It's
fine.
normal, that one.
But
It's not that
it's all about the
fast.
G forces. If it's a roller coaster that you're going to get to a lot of G's, I probably have to.
The Yeti Wars.
Yeti's rougher. The new roller coasters are so smooth. Those things are designed by computers. I mean, it's like riding in an airplane or something. I don't know. So, Kathy said she was late to the live stream. Kathy, it's nice seeing you too. She's babysitting. She says 2 little boys and a 3-year-old. Very cool. That's, you know what? I'm jealous. That sounds like a lot of
fun,
fun.
which-
You have a lot of company, Kathy. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Annie, she said she is huge Star Wars fan. but I didn't like the right part of Rise of Resistance.
That's interesting. So you didn't like the ride aspect of it. Interesting. See, I could see where. See, I keep hearing, because like I said, I haven't ridden it yet, but I keep hearing that people say the ride itself is awesome, but you know how Star Wars has been divisive over the last couple of years, where people don't like the storyline, and that's because they don't like Disney Star Wars, but they appreciate the ride itself.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm understanding you correctly. You actually just didn't care for the ride. Wow. I don't know. I'm looking forward to trying it. I'm going to give it my honest opinion and honest review, but interesting. Very interesting. Okay. So she said Monty is like a dumpling served with garlic and like yogurt. Yeah, that's like a.
I opened it. Do you remember I make khinkali, but that
Something
is
like
not Armenian. That is Georgian.
Georgian style.
The Georgia, not United States Georgia. How to explain? We have a. Actually, we said Russian. They said Gruzia.
You mean for the country?
Yeah, for country.
I don't know. Most
It's
people they
our-
probably
they are
know.
neighbors.
There's a country in Central Europe or Eastern. Not Central Asia, Eastern Europe called Georgia.
Georgia.
It's spelled the same way as our Atlanta, Georgia, but there's a country called Georgia.
So they are one of our neighbors, and we make some of their dishes.
They have a delicious cuisine too.
And like
That part
you
of the
said
world.
that it's like a dumplings, but it's called khinkali. It's their name. We call khinkali.
Georgian cuisine is amazing. Armenian cuisine, Georgian cuisine, that part of the world, wow.
And right, we eat with again Greek yogurt and garlic, but sometimes I like just butter to put and a little bit black pepper. That it tastes very good too. Yep.
Matthew said if we find a good Russian bakery or restaurant, let them know because they're coming in October for the 1 and 9 half marathon. Oh, very cool, Matthew. Yeah, we will let you know. I wish Ararat restaurant was still open. That one was phenomenal, fantastic. And one day I went by and they were packing up, and I said, "What happened?" They said, "We're moving to a new location." I said, "Okay, great." He said, and I said, "Can I get the address?" And he said, "Well, all you gotta do is just type us into Google, and the address and number is there." And that was 6 months ago. They disappeared. They're gone. Something fell through. But yes, if we come across a new Russian restaurant bakery, we will let you know. She says she loves the shirt. Corinne says she loves the shirt. One as I'm a nurse and Disney obsessed. Did she say she's a nurse? I'll need to order one as I'm a nurse. Okay.
That's great.
Thank you for what you're doing out there and keeping us all safe and well. And yes, absolutely. Very cool. Matthew said Nicole and his wife are buying one right now.
Oh,
thank you
so
guys.
much.
We really do appreciate that. Very
you.
cool. Anne says she hates liver.
Yeah, I saw that. That's why I.
And I kind of agree with you. Like, it's not what I would want to sit. If you said, Steve, do you want pepperoni pizza or Susanna's liver? I probably
Not my
would-
liver, the cow liver.
I probably, all right, you know what? I got to bring that up. I'm sorry. Look, here's the thing. I'm just going to say right now. These live streams, we really don't have anything planned with them. So I kind of just like having fun, like where the conversation goes. We somehow ended up talking about liver. If you guys are Conan O'Brien fans, you might get a kick out of this. Maybe I'll link that video too. Remind me to link these videos.
Yeah, that is.
I need to put Baldwin
Conan
Bankrupt,
O'Brien
Armenia,
is
and then I need to put Conan O'Brien. Because Conan O'Brien, for you Conan O'Brien fans, his assistant, who's quite famous on his show, why can't I remember her name? That'll come to me in a second, though.
Sona?
Sona. Yeah, Sona.
Yeah.
She is Armenian. And so he took,
California.
and he always,
There's a lot of Armenians
a lot of
in
Armenians in California,
California.
and he actually teases her all the time, and blah blah blah. So a couple of years ago, he took her to Armenia to find a husband.
I was there yet. Do you remember?
Yeah.
I still wasn't there.
Anyway, so honey, why don't you tell these good folks like about liver in Armenian? Like, there's a saying that you guys say, and Conan O'Brien learned this saying. It was very very fun.
About jigare tute.
Yeah, what is it again to the good
But the
folks?
jigare tute, that
You have
is
to
like,
tell them. You have to say it. Say it.
They said the jigar is not only liver. Jigar, it's included the lungs, the spleen, and that all part of this part. The jigar is mean this part of the person. And when you like somebody, you say jigar to them. Like I'll eat your liver and lungs and your heart, that everything. It's like if you translate it, it sounds funny. But actually, they mean that they like you so much, like they can tell how you're a good person, that they are ready to eat your that organs.
So they taught Conan O'Brien this, and it's probably one of the funniest things you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Teaching Conan
And
O'Brien.
it's so funny how he said, how he pronounced. It's hard to tell Jigar.
Yeah, I can't say it's hard for me, G God.
Yeah.
But y'all have a couple things about like eating people is a good thing. Like it's like a show of love to some, not like a romantic
Or the
love,
little
but
child, they can say, oh, them kids, like, I'll eat you. Something like that.
I mean, we say that too, but you guys say it in a different way. I think y'all mean it. I don't know. I have to sleep with one eye open beside her because I know she's going to eat me one night.
They don't mean like they are going to eat you.
Okay.
They just mean how you're a good person, like you taste and you sound, and like when you sound and look good, they said for them it looks that they are ready to eat you. You are such a, you look like very good and you taste very good.
Matthew said Nicole told him just now, because I guess she's listening to this whole liver conversation. She said you're having liver cravings because your iron is low.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably right. Yeah, it's very true. Yeah. It's interesting how your body works like that.
Iron too, besides
supplement,
my prenatal
iron supplement. Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean,
very possible.
Yeah.
I was listening to one nutritionist on YouTube talking. Interesting. Remember, I was telling you that he was saying that if you're having sugar cravings, instead of eating like a donut or ice cream or something sweet, he said you need to eat bananas because something about the way potassium works with glucose that it has to do with somehow, and I don't know, I'd have to watch the video again, and I'm not a doctor, I don't know what I'm talking about, but somehow the potassium has something to do with how your body stores the glucose. So if you don't have enough potassium in the body, you can't store glucose correctly, it makes you crave sugar. So he was saying, instead of even eating sugar, you need to eat some bananas or eat some potatoes or something, and the sugar craving will go away. So possible it's the same type of thing. If your body's low on iron, you start craving.
Maybe something in your body is not correct. That's why actually in my family, I'm the biggest person who like, if I tell that in my family everybody loves liver like I like. Yeah. No, they like to eat, but not like I can even eat every day. I like that much, so much. Like I like the fish, seafood. Yeah. And I am eating actually now the spinach a lot. Every day I eat. Eating. Yeah, it's a lot of iron in the spinach too. So
I would say, and I don't know if you guys are dealing with it too. One thing about being quarantined or locked down or whatever term you want to use or isolated, not getting any exercise. Not getting any exercise. Very little. We need to start. I mean, we walked a few times, like just around the neighborhood or something, but I think maybe this week we'll try to do a little more walking. When Disney was open, we would be at Character Warehouse or Disney Springs or one of the parks, and you'd get that natural exercise of just going over there. But now that we're just kind of confined to the house, yeah, we probably need to start walking a little bit. I don't know. What am I? Oh, so, Ann, you said you have been to Cedar Point. Okay. Yeah, same deal. When I was much younger, too. I don't know how I would do at Cedar Point, because I remember going probably I was, I don't know, mid-20s. And it was hard for me then. Like, I remember, like, by the time we got there in the morning, by, like, the afternoon, I was exhausted just physically. Honey, those rides are so intense. The roller coasters they build there. They're so much fun. So much fun, but so intense. Yeah. They actually, like, physically, to me, they drained me, like, sucked all my energy away. And, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll go to Cedar Point. Maybe our little girl in a couple of years will want to go to Cedar Point. Yeah. I have to take her on her first roller coaster.
But when? I don't know.
I don't know either. But that's something to think about. So Cedar Point is a lot of fun. Growing up in Virginia, our home-based park, I grew up near Kings Dominion, which is, I can't remember who. I feel like Cedar Fair, I think is what they're called, the parent company. I feel like Cedar Fair owns Kings Dominion. I don't know, Kings Dominion in Virginia, and there's another one in Carowinds or something in Carolina. They've changed hands and been bought and sold so many times. But I believe Cedar Fair, who owns Cedar Point, also owns Kings Dominion. They've built some intense roller coasters there. But actually, I grew up close to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, which is a lot of fun. And, got to do Christmas Town. And the cool thing with Busch Gardens in Williamsburg is, like, we've been to Christmas Town when it was really snowing. Yeah. That was really awesome. Like, if you've never done Busch Gardens, I don't even know how I came up with this.
But here, too. We never went here.
I haven't done Busch Gardens Tampa. And they do Christmas Town, too. Obviously, it'll be 79 degrees with 100% humidity at that time. But we haven't done Busch Gardens at all yet with Tampa, so they're different. The one in Busch Gardens in Williamsburg is like it's kind of like a world showcase. It's international. It's all the countries. Whereas I guess the one here in Tampa is more themed to Africa. I feel like the animals. I know they have a lot of animals and stuff at the Busch Gardens. So that's a whole other thing because people said that's why they built the Animal Kingdom to take away the people going to Busch Gardens in Tampa. I don't know. Let's see. Any questions here we want to go with? Measured off the back hallway, 88 laps is a mile. Hey, there you go, Matthew. He's walking. He's measured like his distances.
Oh.
That's a good idea. Yeah, Susanna's done it a couple times. I've caught her I'm like, honey, what are you doing? She's like, I'm just walking. And she's just doing loops through the house. So, yeah, it's good.
Doctor says that I have to walk sometimes when I feel that after food, especially, I'm trying to walk a little bit.
And he said that Dick's Sporting Goods is doing curbside pickup too. That's good. Yeah. And what else? I saw Best Buy now. I think Best Buy is doing curbside. I don't even think Best Buy lets you inside, but if you want your electronics, you can do it that way. Mike said walking. Mike has a golf cart. Yeah, that might make you on a ride, or that might take away from your motivation to walk when you have access to a golf cart. How cool would that be if we could ride golf carts on Disney property in the Magic Kingdom? Or Epcot. Take a golf cart around World Showcase. Ooh, Natasha. I'm not sure, Natasha, where you are. You said you had an aftershock from an earthquake Wednesday. Where was the earthquake on Wednesday? Somewhere in the Midwest. What's so much craziness in the news going on? I can't remember what city had the earthquake.
Yeah.
In
I don't remember.
In the U.S.
Usually you're watching Gold News.
Yeah. I'm actually trying. I'm not trying to avoid the news, but not bury. But not, Natasha. I hope everything is safe where you are, and hopefully it's just a little minor aftershock.
Not only we are watching that coronavirus, nothing else.
It's nonstop on TV, nonstop. But I mean, I guess you need to have the info, so they have to give us the info. Yes. Okay. So Ann said they still have Carowinds. Yep. I believe, isn't Carowinds near Raleigh or is it Charlotte? I don't know which one it's near. I think it's near Raleigh though.
Utah had an earthquake. Matthew, he said.
Oh, it was in Utah. Okay, yeah, it makes sense up in the mountains. So, you went through a nasty earthquake in your childhood.
Yeah, actually before that electricity and war start, it's almost started. That process, like with the Soviet Union collapsing and everything.
Yep.
We have that war with Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
And we have during the same year, it was 1988. It was a big earthquake, December. So yeah, I felt that.
That was a massive earthquake. Yeah, scary. Very, very scary.
Hundreds of people, 100,000 of
Hundreds
people.
of thousands. Yeah, because it's a whole long story, but where the earthquake occurred, those buildings, if you know what, I don't know, like tall, like 20-story apartment buildings, they weren't built at the best quality because it was the end of the Soviet Union, so they were doing a lot of like corner cutting on new construction. So they blamed that for a lot of the buildings collapsing, and yeah, that was a nasty one. So.
Do you remember I showed you the crack of our building?
Your buildings, had a giant crack in it. There's still damage. You're talking about like 40 years later, you could drive through the city and still see damage from the earthquake.
We are from the capital. We have been lucky our buildings doesn't fall down.
Well, Armenia is beside a volcano.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine. Now, it's not an active volcano, but I guess volcanoes still can cause earthquakes. Seismic zone.
Yep.
Yeah, that's scary. That's a scary one, absolutely. Because
after that, we never have again the same type of.
Right.
We have a small, like a 3 or 4 point. How you say?
3-4 point on the Richter scale.
Yep.
But one of the scary things about Armenia and really the world in general, if you guys are familiar with like Chernobyl, which I'm sure you are, especially with the HBO series that was on TV, which was awesome, by the way. It was awesome. We love that one. But there's a nuclear power plant in Armenia about 20 miles outside of the capital city, Yerevan, very, very close to the Turkish border. But on the Armenian side, it's in Armenia. And that nuclear power plant is essentially the same as what Chernobyl was, and it's in the seismic zone. There's a lot, and it's overdue.
Yeah.
I mean, that plant is like beyond its years by, I don't know, 20 years or something. It's supposed to have been decommissioned. Actually, it was decommissioned. Then it was reactivated in the 90s, and now it's still operating. But I don't know. It's always ranked as one of the most dangerous nuclear power plants in the world. So
Thanks God
talking about
nothing
just talking about earthquakes and seismic zones. Not only is Armenia in a seismic zone, but there's like a ridiculously dangerous nuclear power plant there.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah. But so
For
far
years,
nothing happened.
well, for years the United States has said they were going to knock it down and
Maybe
rebuild a new
they have to
plant.
knock down
Russia
the-
said they were going to knock it down, rebuild it. European Union, but it just never gets done. So that's
Yeah.
always like a creepy one a little bit.
Yep.
Christy asked if we're going to watch Onward. We are, but we're waiting for it to come on Disney Plus, April 3rd. Yes, April 3rd. I know you can go ahead and do it now. You can, I guess, buy it. We haven't bought it, so we're waiting until it comes on Disney Plus. And if we really, really like it, we probably will end up buying it.
We start to watch Westworld.
Oh yeah,
The first
Westworld launched.
episode. Yeah, today
Sunday.
actually is second.
New one should be on
Yep.
tonight. That'll be cool. We'll watch Westworld tonight. We do like 90 Day Fiance. We've talked about that before.
Yeah, sometimes we
Watch 90 Day Fiance. Yes, Mike, you're right. Busch Gardens is your theme park. It's drop dead gorgeous. It's always ranked as one of the prettiest theme parks in the country. Matthew said Best Buy is even delivering appliances and TVs inside people's homes for a minimum of 30. They are not. Yeah, I saw that they're not delivering inside of people's homes. Yep. Yeah, yes, yep, saw that. It's safety. I mean, bringing people in and out. So, and Natasha says she is in Utah. Earthquake was in Magna. Not familiar with where Magna is. I'm sure it's gorgeous because the whole state of Utah is beautiful. Carowinds is in Charlotte. Thank you, Ann. Okay. She said they are good there where they are. Okay, Mike said it's off of I-77 in Carowinds. That's right. Healthy and safe. Kathy said that she prays that everyone stays healthy and safe through all of this
Yeah.
craziness. Kathy, we agree. We
That
are
is the
praying
best thing that
for
we
everyone.
have.
Yeah.
Yep. It's very important to pray.
And she says she loved the shirts and she just finished
Oh, yeah.
ordering.
Thank you so
Kathy. I
much.
appreciate that. It helps us. We know it's everyone's going through hard times, so by no means are we begging for sales or something. Absolutely not doing that because everyone is in the same boat as us. I'm not going to sit here and say that our business is bad and y'all's is great because we know that everyone is at home, whether their business is shut down, their employer has sent them home. We hope people are getting paid. We hope that at some point here in the future there's some kind of relief from everything that's going on. So, but by no means feel obligated to buy anything. I was just showing the shirt. So,
Thank you so much.
yeah, thank you though. Really, really, really do say thank you. Matthew said he loved Onward, but I need tissues for that one, Matthew. You're not the first person to tell me that. He said it's a sad movie.
Which one is
Onward, the new Pixar movie, that it's sad. I want to watch something happy, Matthew,
Yeah.
but you know what? That's fine though. If it's good, it's good. I mean, Pixar movies have a tendency to break out the tissues anyway, so I'll be prepared for that.
Actually,
we have
for
tissues.
Actually, for us, the sad movie recently was the Joker, but it
Joker.
was phenomenal movie.
Joker's awesome.
I'm
What is it?
my language. Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
We like that so
It's easy
much.
to say,
How many times we watched that?
Joker might be like our new favorite
Actually,
movie.
it's hard to watch, but it's really really good.
Well,
movie.
Joaquin Phoenix is just so awesome in it.
Yeah,
And
he
then
is playing
the
so good.
I like great movie
the
soundtracks.
story
I love the
is very-
soundtrack, the story, Robert De Niro. Heck, we could watch that tonight. That one we own, and I've probably watched it 3 times, and I might watch it again. Now, Mike is saying, do I remember the earthquake northwest Richmond 10 years ago? Yes, yes, I do. However, I didn't feel it because I was in the car driving. It's actually weird. So we had a pretty decent earthquake. We have had 2. We had one about 20 miles west of Richmond. That was in Louisa County, Mineral, Virginia, little Mineral, Virginia. Where actually there's another nuclear power plant right there in Mineral that my father worked at when he came to this country. That's another story. But so there was an earthquake in Mineral. I remember that one. And then there was another one. I think what you're talking about was 10 years ago, Mike. And I do remember, but I was in the car driving. I remember I turned into my neighborhood. I was on my way home. And everybody was out in their front yards of their houses. And I was like, what's going on? Why is everybody like outside of their houses? And I got out the car. My neighbor across the street, young guy, he's like, did you feel that? Did you feel it? I was like, feel what? He's like, there was an earthquake. I was like, I didn't feel it. I was in the car. This sounds absolutely horrible. I kind of felt left out because still to this day, I don't ever want to feel it, but I've never felt an earthquake. I don't know what an earthquake feels like because the one that was in Louisa County,
It's terrible.
somehow I didn't
You
feel
don't
that one
understand
either.
what is going on actually.
Yeah.
You're dizzy, but it's not really like the feeling the first time The first time I feel that big earthquake we had. So I was like at home. I was 10 years old, about 10 years old, little girl, and our couches moved, and I almost fall down from the couch.
Yeah.
I heard some like a shaking. I was thinking something with the electricity is not good. The main that is on the first floor. We are living actually in the condominium in Armenia. So I run to turn off the TV, like plug out the TV. I turn off it, I plug out. It was two big shakes. So and then
I'll be right back. Keep talking. I'm listening.
and then I went to the hall to see what is going on. The second one happened where I was like out of our doors, but still in the building. And our building has that metal thing. How to say? I don't know when you're holding to go downstairs.
Like a basement.
Yeah,
Like a basement.
That one for that 9 floors we have. Can you imagine after that shakes? And I don't understand what is going on. Eventually, they said that we have been we haven't been lucky, but in our situation as we live in Yerevan, we didn't have crash, like the building crash. But it still was very terrible. After that, when the neighbors find out that is earthquake, all day, everybody, some people with their suitcase, or
Afraid
they
to
have
go
like
inside.
they wait outside all day. They afraid to come back to their house. But the feelings is like it's not comparable. The most that I can tell, the first you're feeling, it's dizziness. You feel that it's dizzy.
Well, look what Mike just wrote. He said that he felt dizzy and nauseous because he could feel the Richmond earthquake. Because, like I said, it was west of Richmond. He felt it out in Roanoke, up in the mountains.
Nauseous, and then after I have a bad headache. And the interesting thing, who has a pets? We have actually at home the birds. Some birds, they were just singing so bad, making the sound. The dogs, they said, they start to bark earlier than the earthquake starts. So the animals felt earlier than we felt.
Well, they have the senses. They can feel the vibrations. They can probably hear it coming or something. I don't know. Well, hopefully, out there in Utah, that earthquake is all that you guys have. There's
Here
nothing
in
that comes behind it.
California, right?
Usually California is the seismic zone. California is usually known more for earthquakes than the East Coast. Although they say Virginia, New York, Pennsylvania, like there's seismic zones all over the United States or whatever. It's just we haven't had earthquakes there in over 100 years or something. So, but yeah, California, San Francisco, out that way, LA, they deal with that more. But it's interesting. Since we've moved to Florida, we've been here now for 2 years. I tell her all the time, the weather in Virginia was more violent than it has been since we've lived in Orlando. I mean, Orlando, you have like the pop-up, thunderstorms. Yeah. But other than that, I don't ever watch the weather. There's no need to watch the weather unless there's a hurricane coming. And knock on wood, we haven't, we missed one last year, and hopefully we'll keep missing them for the future. But in Virginia, we dealt with wicked thunderstorms that would knock the trees down and knock the power out. And we dealt with tornadoes, and we had hurricane impacts in Richmond and in Virginia, and then you get the crazy nor'easters and the winter storms and the blizzards and stuff. And so here, when I first came down here, I thought like, oh, the weather might be a little bit intense. It's actually the opposite. Like the weather here is very calm, really just in the summertime or something. And that's actually going to be interesting to watch, is to see how the thunderstorms are with the gondolas.
Yeah.
With the Skyliner, when the Skyliner reopens, like that was something that was talked about back when the Skyliner first debuted. What's it going to be like in a thunderstorm? I guess we'll find out soon once everything's reopened. So, what do we got here? Oh, yes, Matthew, thank you. I appreciate it. Matthew said him and his wife, they're able to work from home, and they are happy to help out their fellow Disney peeps. We do appreciate that. And he said that he liked Joker. His wife didn't care for Joker as much. Yes, I agree.
It's hard to watch. Yeah,
it does.
It's
but he was saying that a little bit of kindness, how it would have made Arthur or the Joker a totally different guy. Of course, and that seems to be probably a lot of situations where, growing up, being abused, verbally abused, physically assaulted, all that stuff, it unfortunately plays into a lot of times who people become. But anyway, so, honey, we've gone on for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
It has been an hour and a half. And it's been an hour and a half of a lot of fun.
But it's interesting,
Yeah.
to have a communication
Yeah.
with people.
It is a lot of fun. I enjoy it. It's 9:30 on the East Coast. Yeah. I guess then we'll kind of get ready to wrap this stream up. What do you think, honey?
Yeah, I think so.
They have a little snack.
They are not the people not mind.
Yeah, if you guys don't, look, guys, this is a lot of fun. We'll do it. Should we go live tomorrow?
I don't know. Let's see.
Well, here's the thing.
Your schedule. Right?
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm not 100% sure if we'll go live tomorrow, but if we do, I'll know by like noontime tomorrow, and I will schedule it. So you guys, as long as your notification's on, y'all should get a notification when we go live tomorrow evening. So
yeah, Matthew, you're right. It doesn't seem like it. Really, I didn't feel how we passed this.
Well, one thing
half hour.
One thing I've noticed is not only us, but a lot of other, not just Disney YouTubers, but just YouTubers in general, have been shifting to live streams while everyone's quarantined, and it's kind of fun. I think it helps everybody. It makes the time go by faster. It's a way to socialize with distancing.
Yep.
Can't get a virus through a camera and microphone, as far as I know.
Annie, she said she was cleaning the kitchen and doing her laundry while we chat. Yeah, that's great.
And that's what I usually do when I'm doing my work. I'm listening to a podcast, or I'm listening to somebody in the background. I have to have some type of conversation going. It gives me something to listen to. So
I am not very. Yeah, I'm getting tired. Actually, right now I don't feel that tired. But they said it's better to don't sit too long or don't stay too long. I'm trying to keep that balance. Yeah, I want to pronounce correctly. Actually, that word is international.
Balance. You said it perfect.
Like phenomenal. That is the same Russian. They said phenomenal, but they said another.
How do they say phenomenal in Russian?
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yep.
Nicole, you said you were a missionary. I know we're wrapping this up, but did you learn to speak Russian in Russia? Did you learn it, or do you speak Russian? I'm just curious. I would think if you go over there, well, I don't know. I take that back. I would think if you went to Russia to be a missionary, you would need to speak Russian, but not really, because most people there speak English as a second language, or especially the young generation, new generation, they're going to speak English as a second language. But I don't know, like when I hear you speak, because you don't speak Russian very often. You like to watch entertainment in Russian, like I'm
watching a lot, actually. My shows.
Your shows are in Russian, but you don't.
Movies and reading on Russian. Just when you don't practice, your automatically your language pronunciation is like not good. But I would like. Recently, I was talking with my friend. I have a very good friend. She lives in the Russian. So.
Did y'all speak Armenian or Russian?
We still speak Armenian.
Armenian,
yep.
Yeah. But
I need the practice. I don't have nobody here to speak and again back.
Whenever you teach me a word, it sticks, because for some reason Russian seems so close. It's not close to English, but it feels close to English.
It's closer than Armenian.
It's easier to learn to me. It's easier to learn Russian than French. French, like of all those Latin descended languages, of all those, like as if we don't speak one. But of all the Latin descended languages, to me, like the hardest would be the French. Easiest is Spanish. But to me, like Russian is not that difficult. I know the alphabet's a little bit funny, and the letters have a different sound from how we would pronounce them. I remember the first time I was in Armenia. Armenia, first language is Armenian, but a lot of people speak Russian as a second language and English as a second language. But anyway, I kept saying Mockba. M-O-C-K, is that it? M-O-C-K-B-A? Mockba. The first time I was over there, I said, honey, what is Mockba? And you were like, what? I said, Mockba. What is Mockba? And then you had to correct me and say,
it's a Moskva.
Moskva. But see, in our English writing, it's
Moskva.
M-O-C-K-B-A. But I pronounce that as Mockba, not Moskva.
We said Moskva, you said Moscow.
Moscow. We said Moscow, like the animal Moscow.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, Nicole, she said that she doesn't speak more than 3 words, but they speak a lot of English. Yes, they do. They do, especially, that's like any European, or any, not just Europe, any country.
After the Soviet collapse, that people, they start to learn more English.
Almost every country you go to, when you're in the cities, they speak English, which for us is awesome.
Yeah, it's international language.
Yeah. So, make sure all the people... Facebook, yeah, Google Translate. Google Translate, Matthew, is awesome. So, Ann said, I hope it's not 12 weeks, and we hope not either. And Steve needs to get busy making shirts. Yes, I do. No, guys, this was a lot of fun. Let's see. I don't want to miss a comment. I never spoke any German. Mike said he never spoke German. My mom said I would always answer in English whenever her friends would ask me something in German. Okay.
Yeah, usually, actually, we do you remember you? So we have some the friends from the Germany. They speak very good English.
From where?
From Germany. Do you remember in Armenia you
Oh,
met the guys?
Yeah, I
they're
made.
almost fluent. They understand. I think who even don't speak, they understand you very well.
Yes. Yeah,
Yep.
they were those were interesting kids. They spoke better Armenian than I did. The German boys. They couldn't.
yeah.
They were like teenagers. They spoke better than I did. It was
Yep.
crazy. So anyway, okay, guys, Kathy, Mike, everybody, this was a lot of fun. Matthew, Nicole, and everyone. This was a lot of fun. Linda and everyone. If I'm not forgetting Jessica. This was fun.
It's a lot
I think
of
we'll
fun.
do this
Yep.
again tomorrow. I'm not 100%, but I'm thinking so, and I'll shoot out a.
If
I'll
n-
schedule
if
the
n-
live stream if for some reason.
If not tomorrow,
follow.
after tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Take care.
Take
Have a
care.
good
Thank
one.
you to be with us.
Yes.
It was a lot of fun.
Be safe, everybody. Be healthy. Take care of
Stay-
yourselves out there, and
Stay in distance as much as you can.
let's keep the
Yep.
social distance going and wash the hands. Y'all know what to do. We know what to do, and that's it.
Yep.
So take care, guys. Have a
Take
great
care.
evening. We'll see
Thank
y'all
you.
later. Bye.
Yep.